All right, my topic of my talk for today is God, your personal self, who you really are. As you may know, that Science of Mind celebrates 100 years Science of Mind, and each month of this year has a specific theme. The theme for the month of March is You Are Rooted in the Divine. And part of that theme is my topic today, God, your personal self, who you really are. In the book Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, mentions 7 qualities or aspects of God as your personal self, as who you really are. And these aspects or qualities are the life that is within you, the mind that is within you, the law that is within you, the power that is within you, the friend that is within you, the healing presence that is within you, and lastly, the peace that is within you. Now, each of these statements concludes that you are that quality, you are that life, you are that power, you are that peace, and so much more. You are one and the same as its nature. You are inseparably one with it. God in me, as me, is me. I enjoyed actually very much to read what Ernest Holmes wrote about this particular topic, and I would like to share some of his thoughts with you. Let's look at the first aspect, the life that is within you. I read a quote by Ernest: the life within you is God. Whatever is true of God is true of your life, since your life and the life of God are not two, but one. The enlightened have ever proclaimed this unity of good, this oneness of man with God. For this reason, many have spoken of this life within you as both personal and impersonal. Impersonal from the standpoint that it is universal, and personal from the standpoint that this universal life principle is personified in you. You may remember the words of Jesus, who said, "I and my Father are one." Now, this sentence to me suggests a deep type of intimacy, a closeness. Now, the word Father in Aramaic is Abba, and Jesus actually spoke Aramaic. So Abba apparently is a bit softer than the word Father. One could actually say something like Daddy. Can you imagine calling God Daddy? I love it. I think it's beautiful. Actually, I know somebody who calls God my beloved, which is also beautiful. So this life within you, which is God, has no beginning and it cannot end. Therefore, you are immortal and eternal. The God within you is truth, harmony, beauty, wholeness, and so many more things. Any apparent imperfection from which you may suffer is due to ignorance, or what we may often call a sense of separation. Let's affirm together, I am the life that is within me. I am the life that is within me. There's a second aspect, the mind that is within you. Here's another quote: the mind which you use is the mind which I use. It is a mind which everyone uses. It is a mind of God, and because the mind of God is a complete unity, it is omnipresent. Therefore, the mind which you use and which is your mind now is a God mind in you. This mind is in all people, envelops all, and it is at the center of everything. This is why it is that when you know the truth at the center of your own being, you know it within the only mind that there is. Now, the mind of God has no problems, no difficulties, and it is never confused. When you know that the mind within you is God and cannot be confused, then your intellect becomes clarified. Now, the mind which is God permeates every atom of your being. It is a perfect governing principle in every organ of your body. And when you call upon this mind for an answer to your problem, it at once knows the answer, because there is no problem to it. In this way, the answer to every problem already is in the mind which you possess. An example for me is actually, sometimes I misplace things, especially keys. They seem to have sometimes their own life. So they just seem to disappear. And when I look around and I get a bit irritated and a bit frantic, until I say, just pause for a moment and turn within. Then I just say to myself, nothing can ever get lost in this universe. It can only be misplaced. And there's something within me that knows exactly where my keys are now. And so then I leave it as that. And quite often, very shortly after that, when I've stopped thinking about it, I discover my keys again. Sometimes in very strange places, but they all come back, so all surface again. It is lovely. So let's affirm together, I am the mind that is within me. I am the mind that is within me. The next point, number 3, is the law that is within you. The law that is within you is an activity of the mind principle in you. The mind within you is, of course, the mind of God. To think is to create. This law within you is creative. You use the same creativeness that brought the planets, the oceans, the rivers into being. The same creativeness that made everything that is. God, the power within you, is the law of God. And I'm sure you've heard the words, it is done unto you as you believe. It is law. As you sow, so shall you reap. And now let's affirm together, I am the law that is within me. I am the law that is within me. The next aspect is the power that is within you. The power that is within you is the power of your word, operated upon by law. You never have to will things to happen. You merely have to know that they are happening according to law. You have the power to use this medium in any way you choose. You may possibly have thought that the law of your being was one of bondage. But now you're going to discover that the very law which has produced discord in your life can easily produce harmony. Just know that you have not been using 2 powers, but 1 power in 2 different ways. And I'm sure experience has already taught you the better way to use this power. I'm sure you wish to use it to produce happiness and success, joy, love, and friendship, rather than the opposite. And no greater good can come to you than to know that the power already within you is the power to live, the power to create. And not only to create for yourself, but also for others. The power to do good, to heal, and to prosper. You have access to all the power there is, to all the presence there is, and to the only God there is. Therefore, give conscious direction to this law and be certain to expect it to respond. And let's affirm together, I am the power that is within me. I am the power that is within me. And the 5th aspect is the friend that is within you. Just imagine a friend, loving, caring, trustworthy, available, and so many more things. Now you have a friend within you who is closer than your shadow. This friend anticipates your every desire, knows your every need, and governs your every act. This friend is a God within your own soul. This friend within you is infinite, since it is a personification of God. It is not limited by previous experiences which you may have had, by present conditions or passing situations. This friend is your inner, absolute and perfect self. The friend within you is continuously looking after your well-being, always wishing you to be happy, to be well, to be radiant. Being the very fountain of your life, this friend is a luminous presence. This friend is a high counselor, the eternal guide. There can be no greater unity than exists between you and this inner friend. Actually, there are not two entities, there's only one entity expressing in two different ways. But let's affirm together, I am the friend that is within me. I am the friend that is within me. And aspect number 6 is the healing presence that is within you. There's a healing presence within you, and this healing presence you must recognize before it can operate for you. Because like every other thing in nature, it works according to exact and mechanical law. The God who is within you has already created this marvelous mechanism, which you call your human body. The intelligence which designed and projected this body must have a perfect knowledge of all its parts. It must have a perfect understanding of all its needs. It must be able to rebuild those parts and to supply their needs. The only way this healing presence can create for you is through the images of your thought, through the beliefs which you entertain, whether these beliefs be hope, fear, doubt, faith, or failure. Therefore, one must correct all beliefs which deny this healing presence. The more you use the law of this healing presence within you, the more completely aware you will become of its effectiveness. And the more certain you will be that it is not I, but the Father within me who does the works. Let's affirm together, I am the healing presence that is within me. I am the healing presence that is within me. And the last aspect here is the peace that is within you. God is peace. This peace, which God is, belongs to humankind and is some part of our spiritual nature. Whatever God is in the universal, the individual person is in the particular. The nature of God is incarnated in every living soul. The peace that is within you is not something separate from God. It is not something that bombards you from without. This peace is something that expands from within. This peace has always been in you. Always, this peace has been at the center of your being, ready to reveal its perfection and harmony. A peace stands at the door of your consciousness and awaits your acceptance of it. It does not stand outside waiting for entrance. It stands inside, waiting to be expressed in everything that you do. If the possibility of your peace were dependent upon some external event or some outside circumstance, some objective fact, then you would not have a principle of peace within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Within you is the kingdom of God. And within the kingdom of God, there is peace. Because God is peace, and because God is in you, the peace of God must also be in you. And let's affirm together, I am the peace within me. I am the peace that is within me. Now this brings me to the end of this talk today. We inquired who you really are, and looking at various aspects or qualities of God, we established that what is true of God is also true of you, because you are individualized expressions of God. God is within me. and not a being far away somewhere in the sky. So we can say that you are the life that is within you, the mind, the law, the power, the friend, the healing presence, and the peace that is within you. That is who you really and truly are. I'm grateful for knowing this and for bringing it to mind, especially in moments of doubt. Thank you for letting me share this with you. Namaste.